Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Cindy if it's your first time stopping here. And I know it has been a minute, but it feels great to be back. So today we are going to be talking we're going to be talking about something I've always wanted to talk about, but I feel I have more information now that I've been in Sweden for close to 2 years. Today we're going to be talking about the cultural differences between Sweden and Nigeria. And guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, without wasting any more of our time, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with a very obvious difference, which is the climate and the weather. As we know, Nigeria has a tropical climate and Sweden has predominantly a temperate climate. The funny thing is, even other Europeans, like Eastern Europeans, they come here and they're like, it's very cold. Then who am I? All the way from Africa. It's cold there. So it was it was a huge shift for me. It was a huge shift for us, but it's something you get used to. You get used to it. You just have to because you have to survive. You have to adapt, right? And before our first year here, when it's 12 degrees, 13 degrees, we're like, oh, it's so cold, we can't go out, or we have to wear a lot of clothes. But now when it's 12, 13 degrees, we step out, so your body just kind of gets used to it. But for someone coming from a tropical region for the first time, it's going to be a huge shift for you. So yeah, that's the first point. Another difference is the fika culture. So here in Sweden, there's something called fika. Fika is when you just get to, it's a practice, it's a way of life, really. You just get to hang out with your friends, with your colleagues over a cup of coffee and some snacks. You can have fika during your lunch breaks. There's no special scheduled time for fika. So yeah, that's a very, very important part of the Swedish culture. So the next point is greetings and small talk. Hey God, please, no matter what you do not engage in small talk with this Swede. They do not like it.
We've been sent good weather, which I receive with joy. The war is going well, I hear. By his hand.
In Nigeria, I mean, we engage in small talk. You meet someone on the bus. How are you? Where are you headed to? You just kind of gist with the person sitting next to you. Swedes consider it rude when they come into your personal space, right? So you would hardly see a Swede engage in small talk with someone else. It's just different. I mean, we love small talk. Oh, how is the weather? Where are you headed to? And things like that. But it's not just their way of doing things. Another difference here is daylight duality. So we do not have this in Nigeria because we do not have summer and winter. No, we do not. We don't have four seasons in Nigeria. So this is just like a Swedish thing. So in winter, you we experience 18 hours of darkness, close to 18, 17 hours of darkness, and you have 5 to 6 hours of sunlight. I used to fall asleep. I used to fall asleep 3, 4 in the afternoon because it would always get dark. And my brain would just interpret it as, oh, it's nighttime, let us sleep. But in the summer, the reverse is the case. In the summer, we have a lot of daylight hours, close to 18 hours of sunlight. You can see outside is very bright and it's going to stay this way till about 9 p.m. And the more we go into the summer months, the more we have more hours of sunlight. So it might even be 10 p.m. and it's still bright. And I've heard that in the northern part of Sweden, they have something called midnight sun, where it is bright for 24 hours. That's something I would love to experience. It's 12 midnight and it's so bright outside. But that happens in the northern part of Sweden. So this is another cultural difference. Okay, this one is a major difference. In Sweden, there is no street food. Nothing like suya, akara, fried yam, fried potatoes, puff puff, donuts, all those things we buy on the roadside. You do not see that here. If you want to get a snack, you can go into a bakery, like a cafeteria, pizzeria, whatever the case is, and go and buy what you want. But you will not find anybody on the road cooking with firewood and oil and these things that we get to enjoy in Nigeria. We do not have that here, so that's another major difference. So something you might not know about Sweden: the buses here tilt sideways. It's a design that helps them to navigate like very narrow streets and maybe corners that are very tight. It was interesting for me to see because we don't have that in Nigeria. We have our downfall buses. I saved the most shocking of them all for last: nudity. Hey, God. Guys, we visited the sauna when we went to Stockholm. And if you know anything about the Swedish people, they love sauna.
Probably telling Captain Holt how much they like to sauna together.
And when I got in, I saw, like, I saw things, and I was like, oh, is that how you people do here? I had no idea. I did not know. This is a huge difference. In Nigeria, modesty is key, and public displays of nudity are not. You won't, I don't, we don't even do sauna, first of all, because our climate is already hot enough. So we don't need anything else that's going to make it hotter for us. But yeah, this is another important part of the Swedish culture. You enjoy a sauna session naked. Everybody's just walking about naked. I couldn't. I was tying my towel everywhere I was going to, because that was the first time for me. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that point where I can walk about in the sauna naked, but it was really interesting to see. So yeah. Another interesting one. I know I said that was the last point, but another interesting one is when you board the bus. It's kind of like weird when there's an empty seat next to someone and you sit next to the person. It's not like Nigeria that you board the bus and you're like, madam, look at space, shift door, there's no space for me. So people would rather stand than even sit next to someone, even if there's an empty seat. It's still weird for me, and whenever I take the bus, I sit next to people who like, please help me and carry your bag, but I want to sit because I don't think I'm going to stand when there's an empty seat, except where I'm going to is not very far, and then I just stand, or I want to stand. But yeah, it's just different. I won't say one is good or one is bad or this is better than this, but these are just cultural differences, and I feel it's interesting, when you step out of how does that proverb go, that if you've not left your father's farm, you think your father's farm is the biggest or something like that. So when you step out of your country, you get to explore other people's cultures and you get to appreciate. It helps with like the way you think. Everything is not just black and white. It's either this way or this way. No, you get to like appreciate, you get to understand the way things are done, and just adjust. No one says you have to do it exactly the way they do it, but you have a better understanding of why they do what they do, right? I'm loving the journey so far, and for me it's not so much of a shift. I'm naturally an introvert, so it works for me, like personal space, no small talks, things like this. It works for me. But if you're an extrovert and you come to Sweden, well, lovely people, it's been interesting talking about the cultural contrast between Nigeria and Sweden. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. If you have any thoughts, any experiences, any shocking thing that you heard and you're like, what? Please drop it in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you for joining me today, and see you in the next video. Catch you later. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, and what's the other one? Turn on the notification bell so you know when I drop the next video. See you in the next video. Bye.